Good morning, everyone. What is up? Happy Tuesday. Back in the saddle. Ready to go today. I'm already looking actually on NQ. Might have a trade here. Don't usually like jumping into something right as I'm opening charts, but like we might have a second entry long. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't think I can probably jump into something. That doesn't usually end up well for me, but I am noticing that there is a bit of a first entry, second entry. This is like a double trap right here. But I'll hold off. I just sat down. It's been a couple weeks. Hey, Storm. Good to see you, man. Hey, Randwolf. What is up? What's up? Good to be back. Let's see what we got today, guys. I'm sure it'll probably take a while for folks to trickle in, as I've been out for over 2 weeks now. I was doing some time away, some vacation. Was trading a little bit, but not streaming. I'm not completely out of the loop, but I should probably take things slow. Anyway, looks like we have likely a range here. And this kind of looks like a spike in a channel. You got this like spike up. And then this move, oops. Right. Hey, good morning, Grandpa Roger. Yeah, it looks like a spike up and then this kind of secondary channel here. Only has, oh, sorry. I am not on the right chart, guys. We'll get there. So yeah, it looks like a spike up. Secondary channel going here. It's got 2 touches, so not fully confirmed yet. So we'll see how things react right around here. See the EMA is mirroring that channel perfectly though, so that's a good sign. Looks like that setup that I was looking on the Nasdaq not materializing anyway. But I'm going to flip back over there just to get everything drawn. I don't think anything's setting up on ES right now. Nasdaq definitely looks more like a range. It has consistent highs here. And turning down, so we actually might get a nice little failed second entry long if this spike in a channel doesn't hold. So there's our failure. First entry, second entry, now failing. If this comes back and gives a lower high, I might have to jump in on that. Switching back over to the ES. Hey, good morning, Steve. It would take quite a bit here for me to take a failure. Because this spike in a channel looks pretty solid. We already have our first entry right here. It would have to pull all the way down below the EMA, give a second entry, but then even then I'd still probably wait for a lower high confirmation. Good morning, Gary. Shayak, I'm glad to see everyone trickling in here. Hope y'all have been well, been trading well. Or I hope you took some time off like me. Super important to take some time off from the market. Hope everyone has that as a practice at some point throughout the year, or regularly throughout the year rather. Hey, somebody, good morning. All right, so again, nothing setting up on the ES yet. Switching back to the Nasdaq. We could get that lower high. I just want to see how the EMA reacts here. Definitely don't want to see any movement above the EMA right here, because again, this channel could be valid, so we don't want to fight against that. And like I said, I'm looking for the failed second entry long. It already happened. First entry, second entry. Just looking for that lower high, but the ES is quite strong, as you can see. So I don't necessarily want to take a short on one index if the other is looking pretty good. This is like testing the top of its range, so I think probably just should wait this out until we get some more confluence between the two indexes. Nasdaq going down, ES going up. When they're fighting each other, that's never usually a good thing. Not help out your trades. Hey, Rasa. That's a good question. How much harder is it to go from trading one chart to two? I would say it's quite a bit harder. I tried that like initially and it didn't go well. I'm just now kind of introducing it after trading one chart for like a year. So I wouldn't recommend it necessarily unless... What I'd recommend is trade one chart and the second one be on simulation or something to start. And maybe y'all are better at like multitasking than me. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend. And if you notice, like this one's on micros, right? So I'm just trading micro contracts here for that very same reason, because I don't want to I'm still trying to get in the groove of trading two charts, and I don't want to over leverage myself until I'm sure that I can do it consistently. So just trading micros on the Nasdaq for now, and hopefully I can get really proficient at doing two charts at the same time, and then switch over to the mini accounts, or mini contracts rather. All right, ES not even pulling back here. Still on our first entry. This is the pullback first entry. So we could get a nice long. It'd be kind of hard for me, I guess, if we get a second entry right here to take a long. so close to the top of the range. Rasa, yeah, the biggest risk, missing good setups. I think probably even a bigger risk would be jumping into something because you're not able to like focus all your attention on one thing. So you're like, you know, looking out of the corner of your eye and something looks good, but might not necessarily be as good. And the other thing that's a little bit tricky, I guess, is trading the same strategy on these two future contracts, for example, is that a lot of the times the setups are happening at the same time. You gotta be kind of quick. Have your automatic trade management set to go. Speaking of which, we are getting that lower high. I don't think I can jump in it with the ES so strong, but you can see it right here. First entry, pullback, second entry long. That failed, and then we have this lower high confirmation, but it's not red yet. I wouldn't take it unless it ends completely bearish. Right now it's kind of, oh man, that's pretty dang tempting. It's probably gonna work here, but I don't mind holding off with the ES. Again, looking stronger than the Nasdaq. I don't want to fight myself here. Now switching back over to ES, it is stalling at the top of the range here. Hey Toad, thank you. I had a wonderful vacation, super refreshing. I'm coming back feeling ready to get after it. Spec Ops Trader says the divergence between both indexes is a good thing. You should be trading them because it often indicates a large reversal is imminent. Yeah, I mean sometimes. I think a lot of the times divergence just means chop between the two is what I found. They kind of fight each other, go back and forth. But yes, I think you can look at it as like, you know, if one index is dropping and the other one's just stalling out, usually can pull one down with the other for sure. And that might be the case here with the Nasdaq pulling the ES down. However, the thing is, you can go back and forth, right? Like which one's going to pull which. You don't always know that. Because it could be the opposite. The ES could pull the Nasdaq up here. If I was Spec Ops, yeah. I mean, definitely I would say majority of the time that's true. Just because the Nasdaq obviously is heavily weighted in the tech stocks, and those are the main holdings in the ES, and they will generally be leaders in the market. Rasa probably, you know, to answer your question, probably would have taken that trade if it wasn't for the ES. But the other thing too is there is the possibility of this channel, so could get like a double trap here. I don't know. There it goes, working. Yeah, so now where we're at, going back to the ES. The secondary channel is holding so far, even with the Nasdaq dropping. The ES almost wicked off of that EMA. We have our first entry long already. Want to see how this EMA holds. I would not be surprised if it continues to hold and grind up. Well, if you are glad to be trading together again, please like the stream. I know I am stoked to be back with you guys. Definitely missed hanging out and streaming in the morning. Trading with everyone, been good. I did do some trading on vacation, here and there, you know, a couple hours in the morning or whatever. Not consistently, and yeah, it's definitely more fun to trade together. I'll say that. So if we can push below the EMA here, and get a nice fail second entry long, I might consider it with the Nasdaq still dropping. Hey, Epic Coco, good morning to you as well. I did have a great holiday, great vacation. EMA still holding so far. We'll see what this channel is made of. Summit, on my chart, it actually will be the technical second entry here. This is the high. We had a pullback. This is our first entry. Well, I guess it never, maybe that's what you mean. It never did tick lower, never technically pulled back. But yeah, visually, for sure, looks like a second entry. We'll see how this bar forms. About 8 minutes away from the open, right at the top of this range. It's a little dicey for me. probably one of those that's going to work out and I'm going to kick myself later. Let's also see. We have 2 points if the bar closes right where it's at. Right now the bar is 7 ticks. It's a good risk. I really hope this ends super bearish so it doesn't even tempt me. Right now I'm kind of going back and forth on this one. This is usually a good sign to just skip it. NQ continuing to go down. Also another caution to this trade. Well, it sounds like Spec Ops we're trading different strategies, and that's all right, man. There's lots of ways to make money in the market. I don't like to go long at the top of multi-day ranges, and also scalping, man. So I only need, you know, 1.5 points. So if that doesn't correlate with your strategy, that's cool. That's cool. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons to skip this anyway. Alright, well, I'm skipping this trade. It ended doji. It's really not a bad setup, though. You do have room to get out to the highs. You're scalping a 1.5. We got 2 legs down. Second entry long. Price is respecting the EMA, respecting this channel. It's a pretty small risk, so there's a lot of good things going for this trade. It is at the top of the range, and that kind of goes along with what Spec Ops is saying. That's one of the things I don't like about this trade. It's happening right at this level. Also, the NQ has been weak and has been moving down. Could certainly pull down the ES here. So I'm going to stay out, but there's for sure some things going for this trade. Also 3 minutes to the open. That usually doesn't scare me too much, taking trades at the open, because I've seen them work out so much. As long as the setup's good, all other things considered. Like I said, Spec Ops, different strategies. So, this is the way I trade, fits my personality. That's what I like. So, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways to look at it. I prefer personally to trade just a couple points with a high win rate, rather than really good risk to reward, because with really good risk to reward strategies, you will have a lower win rate, and that's fine. There's now, as long as that's profitable. To me, though, I think the psychological impact of having a low win rate strategy is really hard to get through, at least for me and my personality. Like, if you have a low win rate, high risk to reward, that's great. You have to endure a lot of losing streaks, though. Yeah, I mean, I think that's difficult to manage mentally. I would prefer a strategy where I can count on winning most of the time. That's great for you, man. I mean, that's fine. Again, if you have a strategy that you prefer, trade it. I don't know why you're trying to convince me to trade differently than I do. Alright, well, that trade didn't even trigger. So, no worries either way. Matching high there. This is the nice second entry long, though. Still holding the EMA right at the open. Wow, Nasdaq putting in a big old tail. And it looks like this might work out here, guys. If you took that, it's gone for a point so far. I'd be scalping for probably 2 points, so hasn't worked for me yet. Yeah, totally, Spec Ops, I agree, and that's really why I held off on that. It was because we're at the top of the range and the indexes are diverging. So yeah, I totally agree with you there, and that's why I didn't take the trade. But I was just calling out, like, every other, everything else was aligning pretty well. So on the NAS, we do have a break and new low of that move down, so we could get a bounce here. Didn't quite touch the bottom of the range yet. So we might move a little bit lower. I'm gonna zoom out and see. Might be able to move that level up a little bit. And now this is just looking ugly on ES. Super indecisive. Yeah, Spec Ops, I mean, I would agree to a certain extent. If you're just trading the patterns, you're gonna get wrecked. I think he typically does a good job of trying, at least in his YouTube videos. I'm not part of, like, his community or his forum or whatever, but I know in his YouTube videos he doesn't talk about order flow, but I don't think that's necessary. He does talk about overall context, like going along into resistance at the top of the range, things like that. So I think he tries to teach that. It's really up to people to recognize that that is a priority. Like, you have to have the context right in order for a trade to work. But yeah, if you're just like looking for a pattern, looking for, you know, a second entry and taking it every time, you're not going to do well for sure. Yeah, context is for sure the most important thing when it comes to trading price action. Like today, I mean, that's why I've drawn the range first and foremost, because this so far is the context of the day. We haven't gone anywhere, right? So first and foremost, you need to expect a short at this level. Yeah, I don't think he has spec ops. I think you're right. Like previous day, high lows, things like that. I don't think he talks about. So that is something certainly that I think would be important, looking, or like gaps, looking at gaps to be filled, or looking at, you know, previous days levels as major areas. But also, you know, on the other side of things, when you are scalping for just a point or two, sometimes those the bigger, like if you zoom out too much, it's not really meaningful, right? Because we're not looking for a major move. Anyway, that's a rabbit trail. Nasdaq has bounced, putting in a nice move here. Man, oh man, anyone who got short on the Nasdaq earlier, regretting that. I'm also going to see about perhaps a bigger channel here on the ES. Yeah, so that's a little bit too big for now. It does look like this spike in a channel was right. Spike up, channel. We have our break, looking to get a new high of that. And with the Nasdaq rocketing up like this, we might get that high here pretty soon. Right now we have, from this low, we have a pullback, first entry short, pullback, second entry short, failure. I may get in on this right here. The signal bar isn't too big. Expecting, you know, we had a break of this channel, expecting to get a new high. Looks like this thing might end up too big. Nasdaq also expecting a new high if it's mini short-term trend rather. I don't really like that signal bar. I'll wait. We could get a second entry long here. On the Nas, you can see it had this move up, a break, and we're almost reaching a new high. Meanwhile, on the ES, this channel break and almost reaching a new high. So at least the indexes are starting to line up a little bit better, reaching for the same kind of things. We'll see if we can pull back here and get a second entry long on the EMA, confirming this failed second entry short right here. As long as nothing crazy has happened on the Nasdaq, I think it could be a good setup. Yeah, Steve and I agree. I don't really like this 1, 2 potential triple top. Don't like the fact also that the Nasdaq already made a new high on its short-term channel right here. But there we go. That looks like that failed second entry short worked nice. If it had dropped down a little bit more, if the body of the candle was on the EMA and it didn't have this little top wick, I would have taken that. And now Nasdaq dropping. I think we might get a failed breakout of this large range on the ES. And that is officially our new high here from this channel. We can expect a reversal. We're at the top of the range. This is a good opportunity to look for a short. See if a failed second entry long appears. Yeah, Toad, you're so right. The Nasdaq has been a roller coaster today. You're trading that, man, oh man. Especially if you're looking for large swings on that. Like, people are getting wrecked today. Okay, we are pushing quite far down now. Our failed second entry long, I think, is out of the picture, but we could get a second entry short. Nasdaq below its range, dropping off significantly. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I can't really take a short down here. Back on the ES, same deal. Would need quite a significant pullback to the EMA in order to be able to take anything. Here's our break of the channel, our pullback. See if we can get a setup here. Same deal on the Nasdaq. We are pulling back. Looking for a second entry short at the EMA. Still don't have our first entry short yet. Still no entry on the Nasdaq either. Okay, there is our first entry short. Pullback, first entry. We want one more pullback to end up at the EMA. We can consider taking a short here. Nasdaq also has a first entry. It is quite far from its EMA. We need to get all the way back up here for something to set up. Could get two measured legs of this correction as well. Something to be mindful of. Okay, let's see how this next couple bars form here. This end's bearish, I'm going to take it. Not a perfect bar there. If that bar was red, I'd be in it. I don't like that green doji finish. Maybe we can get a lower high here. Same on the NAS. The signal bar was bullish. Can't take it. Yeah, let's see if we can get a lower high here. Got to turn down now. I don't want any blows above the EMA here. No dice. No dice. Bummer. This is one of those where the context is really good to take a short here, but it's just not quite setting up right. And that's fine. That all these bars are clues, right? So if it's not setting up right, that's giving you some kind of a warning that may not be the best time to take a trade. This is technically the second entry long here. I think we still might have one good chance at a bearish bar. Nasdaq dropping off. Might be our chance here. That's kind of a doji. Shoot. Damn. Oh well. Yeah, I mean it looks good because the Nasdaq's dropping off, but this is also pretty congested in here. Am I back? Are we back? Can y'all hear me? Back. Okay, good. All right. Well, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. A little concerning for me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Your computer just freezes in the middle of trading. But yeah, glad I'm back. Wow. My stream deck. There's a lot of things not working right now. I am not sure what the heck is up. So I guess it's just gonna be one of those days. Been off of the stream for a while. You're gonna get some craziness. I will try to get everything back running as quick as I can. It doesn't look like I missed any setups or anything, so that's good. Always positive. Music's not working. I don't know, a lot of stuff's not working here. All right, got the chart up. Little by little, guys, we're piecing this thing back together here. There's the Nasdaq chart. Okay. All right. Well, my stream deck's not working, so that was all my hotkeys for trading and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go old school a little bit and just click things. What even is that? Music's not working either, so there we go. All right, we got some beats. We got some charts. We're good to go. I know, Steven. What the heck? When are we gonna have it? I mean, it's gotta happen one day, right? Where we can just sit back and be like, go long on SPY futures right now. Just talk to her. Maybe y'all have already figured that out. And yeah, Gary, I know. It's not it's not tool, but it'll do in a pinch. All right, so figure out what the heck's going on here, guys. Still in this range. Had this crazy little congestion here. Failed breakout to the downside. And then maybe a failed breakout to the upside here too. But we are in the middle of the range, so this is just kind of no trade zone. For me at least right now. Although we have two nice legs, it looks like. But we still never got a new extreme of this move down. I would lean more on the short side here. Nasdaq's chopping around at towards the low of the day. Alright, I'm like trying to set up my stream on the fly because I'm so used to it. I don't even want to try to do something that try to take a trade in a way that I haven't. Almost done. Yeah, let's see if I can switch back and forth between the Nasdaq and the ES at least. Okay, good. All right, we at least got that going. Toad, I'm gonna take a look at that. Thanks for the call out. Oh, we definitely had this range earlier that was quite clear. Definite spike down. And then, yeah, this does look like a little spike in channel, doesn't it? Totally see that. Alright, looks like we're now making that move lower. No real way to get in this unless you're just taking this random lower high. Nasdaq, it looks like overshooting that little channel we just drew. Don't know really what to make of that, but I would expect a second leg after this thing, so expecting it to go down. I don't really know how to draw a bigger channel on that. But either way, yes, right now, looking for the second leg to the low of the range. Once we can get that, that could present a great buying opportunity. Don't like how weak the Nasdaq is. That's the only thing that could kind of stand in our way. Looking at like maybe this a bigger channel going on. So yeah, if that's the case, then we have a bigger bearish channel going on the Nasdaq. Not want to take a long on the ES, even if it is bouncing at the bottom of the range. Gotta respect a strong move on the indexes. But it does look like ES starting to put in a nice range. Hopefully the levels will hold and give us a nice opportunity. I mean, if we come down to the bottom and we get a good setup, I might ignore it unless like I might ignore the Nasdaq, still take that setup as long as the Nasdaq's not just like dropping off the face of the world. Because this is a beautiful range. Working our way towards the bottom. Almost looks like an early bounce here. And on the Nasdaq here, a lot of empty space down here. And of course this channel to begin with is just a kind of a just in case channel. Pretty wide. Might want to look for something because I mean the spike down is quite obvious, right? So might want to look for something, just a bigger spike in channel like this. That's certainly a possibility. I'm gonna leave it up for now. Someone was asking earlier about like trading two charts at the same time. One advantage of it is like, look, if you're just looking at one chart, there's no setup right now on the ES. We need to wait till we get down to the bottom of the range before we really consider anything. And so there's really nothing to do on this ticker right now. So one benefit of trading two charts is now we can be analyzing the Nasdaq, trying to figure things out while we're waiting for the ES to get to an entry point that we like. And that can be helpful, especially if you're someone who trades out of boredom, or just like wants to always jump in a trade. Sometimes if you're looking at a chart and you know that there's no setup, your mind will start to play tricks on you, and you're willing a setup to happen. So that is one advantage of trading chew charts. Second entry short. Okay, I mean, we do have a break and new low of this channel. I could definitely see that. I would want prices to come down to the bottom personally for me to feel confident, but I could see why you'd be looking for that. On the NAS, we have a second entry short. I might take a lower high here if it sets up. That failed second entry short over here. Didn't quite set up nicely. First entry short, second entry short's below the EMA. Not a good sign. That short's not setting up here. We got a bullish signal bar. Switching back to the ES, that's pretty much why I didn't want to take a trade there. Still expecting us to drop down to this level. See if that happens. Switching over to the NAS. I would take a lower high if it formed here. We have our second entry short already. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry. It is getting a little bit congested, but we get a nice bearish bar in here. I might consider it. Looks like it might drop off with no setup. Totally fine by me. Wasn't gonna be a no-brainer bread and butter setup anyway. The ES kind of looking like it's forming a base here. It could totally make sense for the bottom of the range to be right there as well. But I know personally I've gotten burned with moving the bottom of my range up. Just because I'm wanting to take a trade. Still think we ought to wait for it to test this level, which is definitely the bottom. The Nasdaq is not dropping off or anything. it's kind of chopping around as well. So if we do get our measured move, like Gary just commented on, slash the bottom of the range, I think a great buying opportunity could be upon us. And the measured move would be basically a failed breakout of the range. Looks like we're getting 2 legs of correction on the Nas. First leg here, second leg would lead us to the trend line. On the ES, this basically just looks like a little range down here at the bottom. And we're bouncing, folks. Didn't even get to the bottom, so no way to get in on that. We got to respect the bounce as well, because we do have a break and new low of our previous move down. This guy right here, strong move down, break. We have a new low, so we can't really look for shorts anymore. We're bouncing, got to respect this channel, and let's see where it goes. This is kind of the test here on the Nasdaq, whether or not this channel is legit. Only had 2 touches at the top, maybe 3. 2 touches. I mean, it looks pretty good, but we'll see if we can get back below the EMA. We don't even have our first entry yet on this. Just a pullback. Oops. Pullback would want a first entry that goes below the EMA. Second entry also below the EMA in order to take a short, or a failed second entry long. That'll have to set up nice though, because there's really no reason to take a short on the ES. All right. think we gotta draw this a little bit steeper. Same deal on the Nas. Really strong move. Gotta respect this trend. But it's basically just putting us in the middle of the range. Kind of crappy price action. I'm gonna look back over the chart and see if there's anything that I would have liked. And I really don't see anything, to be honest. Could have liked it. I mean, this is when I was just getting back. This would have been a nice failed breakout of this range here, waiting for a new low from this move. But it didn't wick higher on my chart, so that signal bar doesn't look great. I think that's the trade that Gary took. I think that, I mean, really, that's the only thing that I'm seeing here. Kind of slim pickings today. This move is strong enough that I might consider a second entry long here. Toad, yeah. Slim pickings, something we inherit. I was actually just thinking about that when I said slim pickings. I was like, I bet today's kids aren't saying that. That's funny you mentioned that. I was literally just thinking like that. Man, that's such an old saying. But yeah, you get what you get. I'd rather be that, you know, have some funny antiquated sayings than trying to be that guy who's like keeping up with all the you know, latest generations slang. Like if I was just on here like, no cap, fam. I mean, it just wouldn't, the vibe wouldn't be right. Not be right at all. Also, this is totally a tangent. Do people say dude anymore? I don't know, because that's like an integral part of my vocabulary. And I don't even know if people say it anymore, if that sounds like I'm old. Wouldn't that be weird if the word dude makes you sound old? All right. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, look, I know people my age say it, but I'm talking about the youths. Are the youths still saying dude? Is that a thing? Okay, your kid says dude, he's 13. All right, I'll take that. Maybe dude is an evergreen term that will be passed on to our great grandchildren. We will all be dudes. Groovy, man. Nasdaq looking pretty good. Second entry long setting up, but quite far from the EMA. Would need to see it pull back all the way there. We'll see. Keeping an eye on it. ES. Haven't even got our first entry. Looks like, yeah, I was about to say, it looks like we're just going to get a new high, which is what just happened. So perhaps now we'll go back to the bottom of the range. I don't know, man. This is looking so inconclusive here. Going back and forth in the middle. Consolidating, breaking out. Nice, Gary. Yep, I mean that's a popular one for sure. I'll admit that's in my vocabulary. Yeah, Steven, my ATR is in ticks, so it's the same. 1.76 points is about the same as 7 ticks, so that's that. Okay, so we have a move up, maybe a second leg towards the top of the range. We could just have a wider channel here. We'll keep an eye out for that. The wider channel doesn't look quite good on the Nasdaq. We'll see. We're in a we'll see mode right now. Gary, you're trading 4 ticks. I think that's probably a good idea. I think I'm gonna trade 6. I might trade 4 though, honestly. With how choppy and rangy it is, and our ATR is only like not even 7. I might go 4 ticks with you. Wider channel is seeming to hold. Alright, never got to the top of this little mini channel here. That's making me question its legitimacy. I'm gonna do the same on the NAS. Well, this is respecting its channel a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's a short-term channel. We already have our new high. We'll see if we can push down below the EMA. Actually, the NAS, now that I'm looking at it, this could be like a little spike in channel. Hey, Brant. Good to see you. Popped in yet? The chat at least. We rejected off the 5-minute 21 EMA. That is good to know. Yeah, especially now. These really two wide legs. This is looking even more like a little range. So I do think that we already have this short-term trend, breaking new high, like Brant's saying, and starting something new. And now as that spiking channel looks really convincing. Nice second entry long sets up. I might take it. Yeah, I mean, 21 EMA or not on the 5-minute. Fact is, this is very range-like here. So if a long setup there, I wouldn't feel confident in it. Unless, what if we have this little range, right? Then a first entry long, second entry long that forms right here, with that being like a triple test. 1, 2, 3. Nice bullish bar. Nasdaq's up. I think I kind of like that. We'll see if that sets up, guys. If that's the case, I might have to take it, because this still could be this wider channel as well, waiting for a new extreme. And this spiking channel looks great on the Nasdaq. So I think I'm gonna do it, guys. If we get a nice little second entry long triple test here, I'm gonna roll the dice, baby. Really have to occur at this level though. Can't go any lower than right here. See how it looks. I like it so far. Only 7 ticks of risk. If this gets too big though, I'm gonna have to skip it. Oh man. Pretty big bar. Going right into that midline. I'll probably have to skip. It's moved up quite high. Yeah. Dang. Well, context is right. That was looking really good. Moved up a little too fast. Yeah, look at that. You really can't get in on that. I know. Moved too fast. That was perfect. That was exactly what I was looking for. But that's okay. On to the next. Nasdaq still respecting that nice spike in channel. Still waiting for a second entry long there. It just hasn't happened yet. Been getting first entries to a new high. This could be the one. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry at the EMA. Like that trade. Carries on that speech to text again. Agreement wanted this failed breakout, but it moved a bit too fast. I wanted it as well, my friend. Would have been a second entry long, triple test, and a failed breakout. 3 setups in one. Right at the EMA. The dang bar just moved too fast. Heckin' bars. Nice. Steven coming out with all the good lingo. I love it. Those darn bars. Now we're at the top of this little mini range. The Nasdaq still not even pulling back, just going up, doing its own thing. Still waiting for a second entry long there. That would be lovely. ES wise, can't really take this. I mean, we're just super congested now. Still expecting a new high to be formed from this move up. This is our break. Expecting a new high. This was our chance to get in on it. Now we can't really take it. Everything's way too high up. I think our best chance right now is on the NAS for a second entry long. If we can pull back. be generally a nice failed breakout locally, right? If you're just looking at this range, that's what we'd be looking for. But larger context wise, as special ops, or sorry, trying to remember his name, spec ops trader, yeah, pointed out, gotta keeping context in mind right now. We're in the middle of a range, and also we have this move up that could get a second leg, like so. So even though locally we would expect a failed breakout, larger context is telling us to stay away from that, a short here. And then also the Nasdaq continuing to go up. You gotta watch out for that. Yeah, maybe getting a second entry long. Maybe. It might happen. We for sure have a new high on ES from this channel. Break new high. Looking for prices to reverse back down on the NAS. This channel looks excellent. Hoping things can set up for a long here. And the second leg on ES here should take us to the top of the range. We're fishing today, ladies and gentlemen. Fish aren't biting. We found a good spot, right? There's been a couple opportunities. Could have been good, but until we reel one in, we just gotta keep waiting. And it looks like we're gonna get a first entry to another new high here. So just no breaks on this, man. No chance to get long. But we'll keep waiting on that. Back on the ES. Continuation of the second leg. And extend our range out here. And that would be our next best opportunity, is if prices do manage to make it up to the top. That will be two nice clean legs up to the top. We can look for a failed breakout here. And if a failed breakout doesn't look excellent. We can always wait for a failed second entry long, maybe even a lower high. It looks good. Back to the Nas. Another pullback coming. Maybe this will be our chance. While we're waiting, I'm sure y'all probably know there's been the Apex had another sale extension while I was away, of course. Before I left, it was on 90%, and then they extended it. I think it's going for another week now. So if you hadn't seen that already, that's the latest with funded accounts. You're looking to add some more, or start your own challenge or whatever. Try to get funded for yourself. The perpetual Apex sale. Second entry short. Okay. All right, Gary. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. So Gary's looking at this right here from the bottom. Pull back first entry. Pull back second entry, shorting below that bar. Don't personally like it because, again, I'm expecting the second leg to get up to this new high. And on the Nas, yet another first entry to a new high. Eight little trends like this that always do that. Just first entry to new high, first entry, yet again. Haven't even touched the EMA in like an hour. Pretty crazy too, because all morning, well, at least at this part, like from the open, the Nasdaq was so weak compared to the ES, and then all of a sudden we're just off to the races. Oh, Steven, that's funny, dude. Those heckin' first entries. Pardon me. I'm losing it this morning. $29 for 33. Nice, Gary. Now, what are you counting break evens as? Are you counting those as wins, losses, or something else? Getting a little bit closer to... You count that as a loss. Okay. That's a good idea. Stats wise, at least. Break evens, in my mind, I count that as a win because I didn't lose any money. Got about 3 points to the top of the range. we're still waiting for that to happen. Another pullback on the Nas. I remain hopeful that it will finally give us a setup. Hopefully my computer doesn't freeze again. Can't even believe that happened. About the scariest thing that can happen as a trader. That or the internet going out. Oh, that's a good point, Gary. Yep. Yeah, you lost commission. But, I mean, commission is, we're talking $5, you know, compared to 200. So, it's true. It is a loss, P&L wise. But knowing that commissions don't really matter. At least for my style, right? If you're trading, high frequency, commissions are going to eat you up, but with mine it's like I have one more win and it's going to wipe that out. That's a good point too, Steven. The thesis was wrong. Yeah. That is true as well. You had to bail. Or heckin' thesis. It could also be, I don't know, sometimes I've gone out breaking even, not because my thesis was wrong or anything, but just because I lost confidence in the trade. So it could also be a loss from a mindset perspective because you're not willing to let things play out. Okay, strong pullback on the Nas now. This would be the second entry. Whatever bar goes higher than the previous one at this point. But we're below the EMA. So that second entry long I was looking for, not looking as great now. Would need a higher low. All right, we got our second entry on the Nasdaq. Technically, pull back here, first entry, pull back, second entry. Looks terrible above a bearish bar, but we can push up and get a higher low here. I will consider it. Back on the ES, we're still have a new high of this move here. So could expect a move down here, although the second leg is leading us to the top of the range. So I don't really want to take a short, don't really want to take a long, kind of in a holding pattern there. Moving above the ES, or sorry, above the EMA on the Nasdaq. See if we can get that higher low. Shayak too. I totally resonate with that. Yeah, for sure. That was actually the thing that really helped me, move through a long period of struggle, was seeing that, taking a look at my stats and saying, oh man, if I just cut out all my impulsive trades, I'd be doing really well. Mental, I mean, once you have an edge, edges are not that hard to execute. It really becomes mental. I mean, you need to make sure you have an edge, right? There's some people that are talking about trading psychology that I don't think really have an edge, and they're just going to be waffling around forever. But if you have a solid edge, after that it's just beating yourself, beating your own mind, being able to execute. Waffles. Dude, waffle sounds good right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay, come on, baby. Let's see that higher low. This actually would be a second entry long on the ES as well. Pull back. First entry, pull back. Second entry, super small. We're already at a new extreme, so it's kind of sketchy for sure. Unless we widen this bad boy. Kind of tempted with this one, to be honest with y'all. But the NAS is more immediate right now. Let's see if this bar finishes well. Oh, actually, it's not even a higher low. Never broke below. To take the second entry long or not to take? That is the question. Six ticks. I don't think it's great. I'm not even gonna tempt myself, not even gonna look at it. Waiting for this little fella to break below so we can get that higher low. The signal bar on ES is a doji. I don't like that. It ended better. Might consider it. It's also barely touching the EMA. Hope it works out for you, Aaron. Context-wise, I think it's pretty solid. Nas never gave a higher low. Still could happen here. Looks like it's going to be moving too high though. Nice, Aaron. Looks like that was a good win. Nice. For those of you who took it, good work. It is a small risk, so that is one thing it for sure has going for it. Pretty good context. Could get a higher low here. Oh, it looks like that might actually happen here on the Nasdaq. Quick low. Not quite. Dangerously close to ticking lower here. Okay, here we go. Could this be the one? That definitely ticked lower. I think I'll take the risk on this. If it finishes green, of course. Actually only gonna go for 25 ticks here on the Nasdaq. See how this bar finishes. Come on, baby. Don't go too high on me. Stay right around here. Ah, that's too high. Too high. And the ES has a new high as well. Nearing that measured move / the top of the range. A higher low on Nasdaq triggered. Looks like it's going to be a winner. I just couldn't justify with that big of a risk on that bar. 47 ticks a risk. Yeah, I can't do that. I could have caught it on the pullback. I don't know why I didn't. I just kind of gave up on it after the bar ended up big. But that pulled back kind of nicely. That would have been a good entry right around here somewhere. Oh well. Nasdaq has a new high now as well. And so yeah, that was kind of the last opportunity. Wish that this guy would have set up better for me. I didn't really like that doji. Love the small risk. If that would have finished on its high, I probably would have taken it. But now we do have a short. That's what I'd be looking for now, at least getting to the top of the range. Look for a nice failed breakout, failed second entry long. That's what I will be looking for. But as far as the live stream, gonna cut it there. It's been great to be back. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow, getting after it, back into the rhythm. So tell your mom, tell your friends, and have a great day trading, everyone. Take care.